Today we are driving the 2024 GMC Yukon XL Denali. Alright guys, so before we get started with the driving portion, let's start with an overall walk around of this car. So for 2024, I kid you not, the car literally remains the exact same way in terms of looks. As you can see, it's got the same familiar Yukon Denali look that's been associated with it for the past 3 to 4 years. It's the same look that it's been associated with it since the beginning of its redesign. And honestly, I don't think they needed to change the look because this car has been drop dead 60 since the moment it came out in 2020. Now these are set with some custom aftermarket wheels by the owner themselves, but I gotta admit, they really do set the car off. It really gives it just an absolutely sinister look. And I mean, personally, I love my mom's car, but I do prefer black on these cars over the color my mom has. But I will admit, I do like the green too. I think that's also a nice look, but it's just my preference would be black. But walking around to the back, let's address the elephant in the room. I got a magnetic plate cover to cover the license plate, and I got the YouTube channel name, so definitely subscribe. But anyway, yeah, so I figured I'd do that so this way you guys can finally get a good look at the back of a car without having me or my buddy or me adding a YouTube edit in to basically block the license plate. So now I have a clean way to block the plate and still show you the rear end. But as you can see, I love the rear end of this car. You got quad tip exhaust, which is probably the most muscular, coolest looking thing you can do to this car. And the back just has a great look. LED tail lights, and I mean, with the blacked out GMC logo, this just looks awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And here, you know what? While we're back here, let's get into the back. I'm pretty sure there is a kick. You can kick your leg underneath and automatically open. Now, because this is the Yukon Denali XL, you have a lot of storage. Like, you're probably looking at 30 cubic feet of storage, and then you lift this up and you have a little bit of extra storage underneath. Very nice. And you can also fold down these seats. Yep. You can fold them down and get more storage. And as you can see, when you fold it down, you get like an insane 50 to 60 cubic feet. And then if you fold those down, which you can do right here, you can fold that down to get about 100 cubic feet of storage, which is absolutely massive. And then if you want to put them back up, you just fold them back up like so. And yeah, I mean, overall, this car is just massively impressive. And then to close the trunk, you just have a little button right here to close it. Again, the days of closing your trunk yourself are done with cars like this, especially in this car. Now that we got that out of the way, let's move on to the interior. So here's the key. I'm going to show you it. This is it right here. Got GMC, says it right there. Now, to start the car, you can always... You do have remote start, so if you want to, you can just press that twice and it starts it. Unlock it, you have the lock button right there, lock button right there. But since this is a modern car and it's keyless entry, you just come up to it, click the button to lock it, and then click it again to unlock it. And then she opens up just like so. Now you get in. And as you can already tell, the first thing you can tell that's immediately different about this car compared to the competition is all the screens. And when I mean all the screens, I mean the all digital screen and the same size 10-inch screen, but it's been updated. So getting in, you close the door, and you got this brand new animation that just looks so good. It looks really, really good. I definitely approve of this animation. Like, I thought the animation in my mom's car was really good. This is even better. I mean, this is top-notch looking. This really gives you a nice feel to it. But since it's really hot, because we're in Florida, I'm going to start it. All you have to do is put your foot on the brake and hit the push button start that's located right here, and that's it. And as you can see, another big elephant in the room is the steering wheel, specifically the Super Cruise function. That's right, this has Super Cruise with the camera and the light that looks like a Ferrari. I mean, it looks great. I mean, if you guys have seen my video, my very popular video on the Yukon, then you already know that this is literally a copy and paste, at least in terms of layout and design, as the car that I last reviewed. But there are differences. I mean, you have similarities. You got that, and the wheel looks the same. But I have to admit, the leather on the wheel just feels thicker. It feels a lot more bolstered up than in my car. And then obviously you have a great digital display. This is probably one of the newest things about this car, and you can change modes from normal to tow to normal, sport, off-road. I mean, you have a lot of stuff to go through. Now, this is not very customizable, but it's still a really great thing to have regardless. I mean, you could just go through all sorts of different information. I mean, you can see whatever you want. You can see your timer, your tire pressure, driver's assistant, oil life, air filter, blank page, speed. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff here. But overall, I mean, this is a really great layout, really brand new. And no, you can't see it, but there is a heads-up display right there. Actually, no, you can. You can see it right there with my finger. There is a heads-up display. It's the same thing, but I will admit the font's updated to look a little classier, a little nicer. I definitely approve of it. And then you have more controls over here, unlike in my mom's car. You have automatic start and stop. You have your parking sensors. You have your lane keep assist. You got your you have a button. If you press this, you can automatically access your cameras at any time. And as you can see, the camera on this car looks phenomenal. Phenomenal, top notch. And speaking of cameras, you have your transmission right here. You push for park, you reverse, you pull up for reverse, push for neutral, and pull up for drive. And now I'll show you real quick. In reverse, you have this camera. You have the backup camera and the 360, and they look great. And it swivels. It looks good. It looks really good. The graphics are just top notch. They're probably some of the best graphics in the business right now. But that's how it's looking. And then there's other little things that change, like the turn signal. It makes a slightly different sound. Very similar, but like the pattern almost sounds slightly different. But just little things like that I've noticed that have really made this car different compared to, my mom's car that I already reviewed in the famous video that you guys can still go check out that has 16,000 videos, which you should probably definitely go check out because that's a great video. But anyway, now moving on to the center, you have more wood down here. This black wood is everywhere. You got it right here. You can feel it. It's so nice. It's right here. It feels great. And it's obviously down here to cover up your cup holders and more storage. One thing I will notice is they did change one thing. So before, this little metal thing was also right here as well. But I feel like they changed it from this because they were the same. You had this, and they were the exact same. But now this has like a lift to it. It looks a little different. It feels a little different. So I think that's interesting. I think that's really nice. And then you have a center console. It's usable. It's got stuff in it. Don't worry about it. But it does work. And unlike my mom's car, here's the big difference between this and my mom's car. Up here is a switch. This switch right here. And when I press it, it moves. It's that new technology thing that they've had since 2021, but my mom's car didn't come with this. So as a result, she didn't have this. But you have a hidden compartment under here. That's right. So if you're watching this, Mom, I'm sorry your car doesn't have this. But for the record, Mom, this was an option in your car that you could have had, but we just didn't get lucky to get this option in your car. But it's okay. It still gets the job done. And it's really cool because you still have that storage, but then you have this hidden storage that no one knows about. You can just slide this open, and you can put anything. If you're trying to hide something from somebody, you can put it in this. It's really nice. It's really cool. And I think another great benefit is the cup holders move out like closer to the rear seats, which basically means they have easier access to their cup holders. Like, you could be like, oh yeah, I can't reach my cup holder, it's too far away. And you could just go, no problem, beep, and move it back to them, which I think is really cool, really luxurious. And then just to put it back, all you gotta do is press the button in the other direction and it goes back. Really cool feature. And overall, adds a lot of class to this interior. And obviously, leather's everywhere, wood's everywhere, metal is everywhere. Overall, this is a really great car. The interior has not really changed for the most part, aside from technology and stuff. But that's a good thing though, because this interior has always been a really well executed interior. But now that we're done with that, let's hop in the back seat and see what the back seat's like. All right, guys, so to get in the back seat, you just open the door. The door opens up very wide, very chauffeur style for you. Same leather, same wood, same metal. All of it looks really nice. So to get in the back seat, you just grab the handle and you just hop right on in. Oh, but I will say, before we start talking about the back seat, the biggest difference between this car and my mom's car is the fact that this has manual, normal, standard running boards, whereas my mom's car has the power running boards. So just wanted to point that out to you guys. That's another thing that this car doesn't have. But it's okay, because this car seems to have a lot of other stuff too. And we're going to start with this. It has this awesome touchscreen TV, which I think might be better than my mom's car, because my mom's car has this, but this has built-in YouTube and Hulu and YouTube Kids, which is just so cool. I mean, you can click on it and you can pull up YouTube on your TV on road trips. I mean, you don't really need this feature because kids nowadays have their own iPads and phones, and they can just look it up themselves on their phones. But there's just something so neat about pulling it up on this big screen. You could literally pull up a lot of stuff. I mean, you could pull up your favorite YouTubers of all time. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you pull them up? This is where you do it. You can watch your favorite YouTubers on a road trip. And just like that, you can pull up the channel. And please subscribe. Go check me out. Subscribe. But anyhow, I just wanted to give you an idea of how cool this is. Moving on from that, right? So in the back, we have captain chairs. And as you can see, I'm 6'2", and I have plenty of headspace back here. And you have your AC vents that are up here and up there. And you also have little coat hooks for your suits and all that stuff. Placed nicely right there. Your LED lights are right there. And they turn off real nicely. And then your AC controls are back here. Keep the back nice and cool, you know what I mean? In Florida, that's a necessity. And for the most part, aside from that, I mean, that's really about it. That's all you got in the back. You got the captains, you got a nice little armrest right here, which works nicely. Your TV, AC controls are all right there. You got USB-C and an HDMI outlet, so you can charge up your stuff and even play your PS5. Pretty lit. Also, you got heated seats, which is also a big plus, which in my eyes is really great. But no cool seats. So I'm sorry for people who were looking for cool seats, but this car does not have it. But it's okay, because it's not the end of the world. Overall, the back seat is awesome. And you know what? Since we're back here, let's get to the third row real quick just from here. Because all you got to do is you got to walk in the middle. And you just got to get up. You got to move into the back, like so. I'm in the third row now. And as you can see, I am 6 foot. And I have a lot of space. Like, look at this. That's a lot of space. I mean, this is the third row. This is usually the smallest part of the back seat, and yet I still have plenty of room. And the best part is, since this is captain's, I can stick my feet over here and just chill. Like, or I could just sit in the middle and chill. Like, this is some top-notch stuff right here. Really great. Really great. And you have a great view back here. Now, the quality is a little cheaper back here. You got plastics that are more obvious, but you do get cup holders, which is nice, and a USB-C. So you still get charging capabilities back here, which is nice. And you get some minuscule, slight paddedness. Not as good as up there or in the first row, but it's good enough. It gets the job done. Who cares? And honestly, that's really about it. Now, headroom back here is pretty good, but what can I say? It's a big car. It better fit people like me back here. But anyway, now that you guys have gotten a good idea of what this interior is like and how great it is and how nice it is, let's take this car out on the road and see how it drives. All right, so now that you guys have gotten an idea of what the car looks like on the outside, what it's like on the inside, the stuff that it's got, let's talk about the driving experience now. I gotta tell you, I can tell the difference. So the power's the same. As you can hear, it's the same 6.2 liter V8. It's a great motor, so definitely familiar in terms of the power. But I mean, everything else is like, my lord, this car feels so familiar, but there's a lot of things that make it feel so different. This infotainment, like I showed you in the walk around, is just different. The layout's different. It's got a different design. It's updated. It looks a little more modern and different. And then obviously we don't have gauges anymore. It's all digital now for 2024, which is such a nice upgrade. It really does make all the difference. I feel like it just makes this car feel a lot nicer. A couple of things. And since we're talking about the driving aspect, let me talk about things that this car has that the 2021 I reviewed does not have. It has, well, okay, so there's a couple more buttons down here. There's these like parking sensor buttons that I don't think my car has at all. Also, there's this button. I'll press it. Oh, there's a button. Okay, so something new that's really nice is you can click a 360 camera button, but you click the button and you have this like 360 view. You can inspect the car just with that one click of a button if you want to quickly go to it. So there's a couple of things I noticed when I'm driving the car that makes it different from a 2021. First thing, this car has updated technology. This is the biggest one that I'm noticing, and that you probably noticed earlier and that I probably talked about. This car has Super Cruise. This car has Super Cruise, which is GMC's Tesla Autopilot equivalent. And I've heard so many good things about Super Cruise. In fact, I've heard from a lot of famous car reviewers that Super Cruise is better than Autopilot. And this car has it, and it's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, guys, this car feels great. I mean, so the question I bet a lot of people have is, does this improve on an already amazing SUV? Does it improve on it? Does it make it better? I have to tell you, yeah, it does. Because the new Yukon has been an incredible SUV. An incredible SUV, definitely worth the money, definitely worth buying. This car is just, it's mind-bogglingly impressive. Even the 2021. So I feel like if you are looking for, the Yukon Denali, if you want to save money, I still recommend the 2021. But I gotta admit, all this technology in this car, I think it might be worth the upgrade. It's not a heavy update or anything like that. It's really not. Now, I think they're coming out with, in 2025, 2026, they're gonna come out with a newer, they're probably gonna facelift the Yukon. And I think maybe even update the interior, if I'm not mistaken, from what I know. But if you're not wanting to wait another year and you're in need of a new car, does the refresh 2024 do a perfect job? I think yes. This is worth the money. Now, it's going to cost you, but I think this car delivers. I think this car is worth the money. It takes a great car like the one I reviewed and it just makes it even better. It just more leather, more technology, the all digital display, the newer updated infotainment system, the Super Cruise, which I think is the biggest part of this car, the biggest upgrade of this entire car. And I think it's worth the money. I think it's great having it. With all my rambling and talking about this car out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just want to say I'm so sorry I have not made an upload in so long. I just want to point that out right now. I am sorry that it's taken me this long to make this video. Literally, you can't make this up. I was supposed to film this car 2 weeks ago, and you know, it rained. It was a rainy week and I couldn't do anything about it and it wasn't perfect. And then I was supposed to film it last week and then I got sick the entire week. And so now we were able to finally review it. And man, am I glad that I finally got to review this car. This car is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I probably have been repeating myself like a broken record, but I mean it. This car is just a great car. Such a great driving car. Comment below, let me know what car you want to see me review next, and I will do my best to get my hands on it. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And man, I will see you guys in another video. I'll see you guys. Peace out. What are you doing? I have a woman in front of me driving a Corolla, and she's like 2 centimeters away. What are you doing? I'm just gonna let you go. Wow. Yeah, go. Go. Tampa drivers, I swear to God.